Once that's edited or in black and white.
I feel like it looks like a Russian mobster.
Yeah, that's
behind the warehouse where they're like moving keys.
Yeah, 100%. It's the vibe.
Uses the bulldozer.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what he's up to.
Nope, no idea.
Just retirement activities.
Activities.
Yeah.
What is up, YouTube? Doing some rehab day today, not a very exciting day to film. So I'm gonna mix in a Q&A to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm not gonna ramble for long because that's the story of my life. Jump right into it because I hate intros. First question. It's from Blake over at the office. He says, what's one thing that competing this year has allowed you to realize? I think my best answer to this is that physically and emotionally, you don't feel as much until you slow down. And I was thinking about my injury of this, like as soon as my body was like going through prep, going through Olympias, going through everything, like going forward, and like building momentum, and like I was fighting through it. And I had these 3 tears in my shoulder for years. And until I retired and my body was like, okay, we actually have time to recover right now, my shoulder just like gave out and started to really hurt. And there was a lot of other like emotions, good and bad, that I also wasn't really feeling because I was just in the mix of getting on to the next thing. I have to get ready for prep. I have to get ready for my off season, for this trip, this, that, or the other. And until you like slow down, you can't really feel what's going on in your life. And even now, looking back at my career, I have more optimism and more gratitude and more joy for everything I did and I accomplished. Where in the mix of it, you're just thinking of getting it done and trying to accomplish it and trying to win. And there's a lot I did enjoy still, because it was something I really worked on. But I didn't realize how much of being in it was stopping me from being able to feel all of it. And even my relationship with Courtney now, that I don't have this like pressure and the stress on the back of my mind of this huge goal that I'm chasing after, like all year, every single year. I find myself being able to like think about myself less and think about her more, think about Bradley more, think about others more, be more empathetic and understanding different aspects of my life. And I truly don't think that when you're like gunning towards something, you can truly embrace and feel everything that's going on in your life. And not that that's a bad thing for a short period of time, but if you do it for too long, probably not a good thing. So people who like start a career in their 20s and don't retire till they're 50 and miss that whole aspect of their life, like that sucks. So if your career's that long, you need to find gaps in between to truly slow down. Luckily for me, I retired at 30 and it showed me this, and I still ramp up and I'm really busy with business, but I know now that there's times where I need to really pull back and plan intentional times to slow down and not have too much stuff on my plate so that I can connect with myself, what I'm feeling, and the people around me. So kind of a cool analogy of physically injuries come at you, even when people have like a lot of work that they're working towards for like an extended period of time, a really big project, really big presentation or event, they often get sick the day after. It's because your body's full of cortisol and it's just fighting off everything it can. And then the second your cortisol drops, you're like, okay, it's time to heal. And that's what like inflammation is in the joint, or sickness is, it's your body healing. So you feel like you're taking a step back, but it's actually finally healing. So I don't know, cool perspective. But I'm do a set, another question. Next question is, how do you teach yourself to sit and process your emotions? Great question. First and foremost, I guess for me it was understanding why I don't want to sit and process with my emotions. So kind of like understanding at a young kid that like I didn't often feel like there was space for my emotions to express them and to share. No one really checked in on me or helped me do them, so I just naturally learned, okay, it's easier for me just to kind of suppress them, repress them, and just hold them to myself because that's normal. So I guess first and foremost was understanding why I was doing that, understanding that that's not necessarily normal, and believing that sharing them with others and expressing them is actually helpful. It's not bad, it's not a burden to others to share them. It doesn't make them bigger than they are, admit that they're true, but admitting them and letting them out often helps you let them go. But from a more concrete standpoint, because it's very subconscious, at least myself, I wasn't consciously choosing to suppress them, I was subconsciously repressing my emotions a lot. So for me, stuff that helped was, the biggest thing that helped me was like reading books or listening to audiobooks that were in that theme. So if every morning, car ride, before bed, I'm reading and thinking about something emotional or deep or philosophical or self-improvement or something, then that's constantly on my mind. So when it comes up, it's front of mind, rather than if I'm just watching anime every day, which I still would love to do, I'm not thinking about it. So like I'm reading a book right now called Letting Go, and it's talking about when an emotion comes up, not being able to try and analyze it, overthink about it, but just to sit and feel where it is in your body. Don't try and process it or get rid of it, but just like feel it physically and just sit there with it. And so now when stuff comes up with me, I'll literally be like getting upset or annoyed or frustrated or this or that, and I'll literally be like, oh wait, I just listened to that 10 minutes ago in the book. This is the moment that right now to practice it. So it brings it front of mind. So think like that, whatever can cue you. I think that's why a lot of people love journaling as well, because when you're writing down your thoughts consistently, you're putting it in your brain and you're getting reps in. But anything that can like physically bring it to mind, whether it be like little notes to remind you of books, a wallpaper on your phone, all these little things. But the biggest thing for me was reading consistently and listening to audiobooks in my free time. All right, next question. Did you ever use a logbook in your programming, and can you show the structure? So I didn't use a logbook for the longest time. My life was bodybuilding, so I would just like remember things. If I'm at my gym, I know where my weights are and what to do. But that was kind of my excuse that I had to myself. And then I started working with Justin, and his line he always said to me was, what isn't measured isn't managed. And he was huge on that, and he's huge on logging. And so I started tracking my weights a little bit more specifically with him. And then he would do progressive overload with weights like 2.5 pounds. He made me order these 1 pound plates, which I didn't really use efficiently. 2.5 was kind of my bottom point that I would use. But if you're doing everything absolutely perfectly, and you nail something till failure, and you're aiming for 10 reps, you get 10 reps, and then you put 1 pound on and you get another 10 reps, that's still technically progressive overload. So there's a way to overthink it and stress yourself out, and then whatever you can find that works best for you is the best way to do it. But if you're tracking your weights consistently, then you show up the next week, and you're able to do better than what you did. You're making progress, and there's no way to fight that. So it's an easy way to fight plateaus and not get in your head and be like, oh, I'm a little tired, I feel weaker. Well, you did it last week, you can do it again this week, maybe doing a little bit more. So I have become a huge proponent for logging, and I think it makes anyone better in anything you do. Nutrition is an absolute. You know, I've tracked my food my entire career. Why not my weights? They're equally as important. The structure I use is just literally in an app. He had a random app before that I used, and now it's in the standard app, which is why we made it so specific to be easy and obvious to track. My brain's losing it right now. But when you look at the workout, it's like, what's your weight? What's your load? How many reps? And then you hit check mark. And that's like the main part of the workout program, because it's so important to do. So we make it easy. And there's a little tracker in there that you can look at your last week's reps when you're doing the same exercise, and it holds that forever. So if a year from now you haven't done bench in a year, you get back on bench, it will remind you a year ago you did X. This is where you could be at right now. So I think it's super important. Didn't always do it, but it made me better when I did.
This is all still focused on kind of like rehabbing and like strengthening the shoulder and around the shoulder.
This is like easing back into my ability to do exercises. So like I haven't done like a chest exercise in, I don't know, like 4 months. So being able to get the scapular retraction, protraction, and a little bit of chest activation at a range that doesn't hurt me. Doing a load of my triceps, because you stabilize your shoulder a lot. Like that movement right there was right on my rotator cuff that would hurt it. So being able to control it with the band on a lighter weight. Same with back. I haven't trained back, so being able to do an isometric hold in a range where I'm in no pain right now just strengthens it in a capacity which doesn't hurt myself right now. Rather, when you do like full ranges of motion, like that's where you can retweak an injury if you do it too soon. How would you approach bodybuilding differently if you were just starting with the knowledge you have now? We're just before we did the video, we were talking about like the beauty of a beginner's mindset and being able to just have like a childlike approach to things, of looking at things through a new lens and experimenting with things. And even like when you see Bradley and everything is so interesting and new, and you want to analyze it and see what it means, do you like it, do you not, and learn about it. And I think what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't want the knowledge I have now when I started, because when you're following a step-by-step process that someone tells you to do, there's a lack of understanding in what you're doing versus like a trial and error of doing something that doesn't work. Might not have worked, but the experience that you gain from understanding what doesn't work and understanding why you didn't like something and just going on the journey that you have is the only way to truly become a master of something. Like if someone did exactly what I did and had all my exact knowledge and followed it step by step to try and be a good bodybuilder, it wouldn't help them as much as it would help them to go back and just take in a bunch of knowledge that they learn, try new things, fail at new things, and just kind of figure it out the way you go. It's also a lot more fun that way. Like the whole like journey of a process of something, of trying to become a master at something, is way more fun when you're uncovering the knowledge along the way, rather than just being given it at the start. And I think it's a fool's approach to want to have all the answers at the beginning, or even to think you have all of them. And I still far from having all the answers. Maybe there'd be a way where I would start with no knowledge again and go on a different path and end up better or worse. I never know, but I would still rather go along the journey without the knowledge to begin with and be able to have fun on that approach. Because I truly believe even if like myself, or if like Tiger Woods had an exact replica of how to do exactly what he did when he started, he wouldn't be as good as him starting without that step-by-step plan. There's something like in the creative act of being good at something where you're just experimenting and figuring out, learning about yourself and the journey along the way. So long answer to saying I wouldn't want the knowledge I have right now, so preferably I would do nothing differently than I did, and I would enjoy the process along the way, learning as I go.
Bands are giving you the work.
Bands are giving me the work. Bands are tough, especially when you're doing 20 reps. I'm not used to doing that many reps. The cardio for me. A mile run didn't help me out that much. Alright, so continuing on this Q&A, I only saved one other question and the rest are gone, so maybe ChatGPT some questions, maybe we'll pull Courtney out here to ask some questions, but for now, the last question I have saved was, what's one of the prices of success that people don't see? And I would say, from when I was competing specifically around bodybuilding, I would say the difference of being someone who does something versus like becoming something. So instead of doing bodybuilding, I work out a lot, I spend a lot of time in the gym, I'm a bodybuilder. It's like, it becomes, I am a bodybuilder, I am Mr. Olympia, and it's, people start to attach your identity and literally say, oh, you're Mr. Olympia, you're that bodybuilder guy. It's like people start to see you as such, and because you start to also view yourself as such, you start to like attach more of your identity to like a thing or an outcome or result or something you're doing rather than something you are. And I feel like it's really just like limiting on yourself, and why people get attached to things for too long in too strong of a way. And I have this huge belief that like attachment versus love are drastically different, and to be attached to something is like you're grasping and you need it and you're like holding it close and you're scared to lose it and your identity is attached to it and it's not good. Whereas love for something is just pure love. If it's gone, because the best thing is for it to be gone, that's all right, because if you love something, you let it go, kind of that kind of thing. So I would say that's one of the biggest things, was starting to identify at a time with bodybuilding more than just being something I do. And it just really limits who you are and starts to put you in this box of thinking you need to act a certain way or be a certain type of person or all these things. And that was never me, and I never wanted to be that. So I did it, I fell into the shop for a while and I weaved in and out of it throughout my career. But as a whole, I feel like the reason I was able to retirement with a lot of peace was because I battled that while I was in it rather than after. So I was able to walk away from it and feel like I wasn't like losing myself. It was just something I did for an extended period of time. That was beautiful, but now it's behind me. So I feel like it really helped me retire. What's your biggest guilty pleasure food that would ruin your prep in 10 seconds? Cinnamon buns. Cinnamon buns are incredible. Who cooks better, you or Courtney? Absolutely Courtney, without a doubt. Weirdest food combo you swear it tastes amazing. Cream cheese and eggs on a bagel. Remember, we didn't get it because they didn't have eggs there. No. We went back the next week and got one, it was fire. Have you ever walked into a gym, saw the crowd, and walked straight back out? I have done this so many times, it's not even funny. Especially when I'm traveling, and now that like, I'll see like a bunch of kids and they'll like look at me and recognize me, I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm not even gonna be able to get a workout in. But even when I was younger, I walked into like my college gym or the local gym when I was younger, and they're just so crowded. I'm like, no, not today. And I've walked out. And then I ended up coming back at like 9 p.m. at night when the gym was empty. I just didn't like people when I was younger, and I did not like talking to people, so I avoided them at all costs. When I was really anxious when I was young, I would drive to Costco and get in the Costco parking lot, see how many people were there, park, overthink it, and then leave. And then I would go to the Sobeys, this like little grocery store, like a Publix style thing, at like 9 p.m. at night when no one was there, because I was too stressed out to be around that many people. I was fucked up. What's your toxic trait when it comes to online shopping? This is a very new thing for me. I've bought 40 pairs of shoes probably this year, and I've returned 39 of them because I have like wide feet and I'm starting to care about the structure of my feet and my toes. So I don't want a shoe that's too squishy, but I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be wide enough. I want the toe box to be big enough so my toes are okay. I want to be able to walk in it, stand all day. I'm trying to find like the perfect shoe, and it doesn't exist. So I ordered a fucking lot of shoes, and I just order them, and then I return every single pair because I don't end up liking them. The only pair I've kept is like a pair of Vans. And I got a free pair of On running shoes when I was in New York, and then I donated them because they were really uncomfortable. So it says that. Who wins more arguments, you or Courtney? And what's your go-to move when you know you're wrong? That's a funny question. Look, really good. When it comes to like just fun debates of like who's right, who's wrong, I'm always right. But when it comes to like actual arguments, I usually lose them, to be fair. And when I'm wrong, it's a great question. I'll usually, if it's a genuine argument and I'm wrong, it is what it is. I'm pretty good at accepting defeat, to be completely honest. I'm not that horribly stubborn. But if it's something that's like more like comical or like just less serious, I'll go in my grave before admitting I'm wrong. Have you ever lied to your coach about how you stayed on plan? 100%. I had plenty of times where I was like, I knew my body and I was like super depleted, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm having a muffin before the gym, or I'm having extra carbs or this. It's usually a cookie or muffin. And I knew I needed it. And every single time I ended up losing more weight and getting leaner in the process and having a better workout. So luckily I was right, but I've had some stubborn coaches. Honey, Ian, you know who you are. What reality show would you want to go on? The Challenge. Is that MTV show, The Challenge? Have you heard of that?
One?
Yeah.
The Challenge, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I remember watching that, but I could do this one day.
Ask some questions, guys. Don't judge me. I'm
Hey,
James.
who's more likely to cry during a Disney movie?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got?
What's your ultimate gym ick?
What was it?
What's your ultimate gym ick?
Gym ick. I don't know. What's yours? Is it like you're not re-racking your weights? You never re-rack your weights.
I do it at public gyms.
Not at his own gym. So then I'm stuck taking off like 20 plates on the leg press machine. True.
Ultimate's gotta be stinky people. That's just like etiquette though, you know? Don't be stinky at the gym.
Okay. If you could change one core personality trait, what would it be?
I could change one core personality trait?
Yeah.
Myself?
Yeah.
That's hard because I feel like it wouldn't make me who I am.
That's a good one. I like that answer.
My like ego wants to say like my overthinking of like anxiety of like people thinking about me, but like it also makes me who I am, you know?
That's true. Okay, when is the last time you felt lost?
Lost?
Honest answer.
There's been periods since Bradley was born and adapting to life, figuring out our relationship as parents and not just being us anymore, and being retired from bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like the most lost was before competing last year. Like before deciding to compete, and then when I started prep.
Yeah.
Like I was not into that prep until like 6 weeks out, you know? I was super like, didn't know if I should be doing it or like, you know?
Prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super in and out of that.
What is a secret about yourself you've never shared with anyone?
Those questions are horrible.
This is from countryliving.com.
I'm not gonna share that on the internet if I've never shared it with anyone.
Why not? They people want to know.
That
Give
means
them
I
what they
haven't
want.
shared it with you. What fictional character would I be? Oh wait, what fictional character would be my gym partner?
Oh. Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, we were just talking about Batman.
I'm pretty dope with Batman as my gym partner.
Who would it be?
Naruto.
Naruto.
I don't know. I feel like it would be someone like more eccentric, you know? Like an Eddie vibe, you know?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know who that is in the character. Like who would Axel be as a fictional character?
I don't even know.
Naruto?
sure. Yeah.
Axel's the guy who got me to watch Naruto at first, and he was my best training partner ever.
How do you actively try to achieve personal growth?
How do you actively try?
How do you actively try to achieve personal growth? I know. You read and you listen to podcasts. He's listening to a book called Letting Go. He's obsessed with it. He's reading it and listening to it. 10 out of 10 recommend, right, babe?
I would definitely say on the top end reading or listening to audiobooks just to keep it like top of mind, especially audiobooks. Every time in the car, if you're like cueing yourself with something.
Yeah. You like audiobooks? You like podcasts?
Yeah, but audiobooks more.
Give your top 3 podcasts you listen to.
It's more guests. Like I listen to all the Peter Crone podcasts.
Peter Crone.
Chris Williamson podcast.
Chris Williamson.
One of the OGs I listen to. Other than that, there's not like podcasts I follow. I like Diary of a CEO. He's got some good ones. Steven, yeah.
Do you like any called podcasts like Ben Greenfield or Huberman?
I've never listened to a full one.
No, they're long.
Yeah.
But they're detailed.
That's what you listen to, right?
I like those guys.
Courtney listens to all the health podcasts so she can make me healthy. And I listen to only mindset podcasts so I can
Try to fix my...
help her mindset.
Yes, exactly. Chris doesn't believe in love languages, but a question on here is, what's your love language? And he says...
Acts of service, quality time.
Oh yeah, okay, you do believe in love languages. I thought you said you didn't believe in that. There's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and he was like, I don't have any. Remember that conversation?
I didn't, yeah. Well, I had to think for a while of what I actually like, but they're all kind of neutral, you know?
Do you ever feel like a failure?
Yeah, definitely. Mostly in relationships, more so than life. I wonder if that's like, I feel like that's a distinct thing people often feel different in like their self-image of like career and then like relationships, you know?
You think people feel one or the other?
No, but I feel like it's normal to feel different.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, do you feel like a failure? Be like, no, I have all this going on for me. It's like, well, like, what about within a relationship or like, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, this is a good one. If you could time travel, what is the one piece of advice you would give younger you? Like, say like teenage Christopher, before he started like competing and all that. What? Don't be an idiot?
No, just like the first answer is, as I was going through like a few things I would think of to avoid like getting sick or like all these things, I wouldn't be who I am if it weren't for all those things. I wouldn't have won the Olympics I had if I hadn't gone through that, or like been like seeking the growth of my mind and trying to take accountability and change things. So the only thing that I care that's funny is the hairline they drew in Turkey.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't want to change anything else because it would change who I am.
Just your hairline. Wow. Okay.
Look at her, she's sad.
Oh baby! Do you wanna go to her daddy? Wanna go get her? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, mommy, I get you, sweetie. Come here. Wanna go see daddy? I love daddy. Daddy. There you go.
You little shit. Oh
Oh, your teeth hurt. What's the mamas? Oh, you just want... Okay, let's go ask Daddy some questions. We're going to go sit over here. Okay, so he changed his hairline. That's what he would tell his younger self. Mwah. Who's that? Mwah. Okay, what should we ask him? Oh, this is a good one, babe. What is the one thing people misunderstand about you? What do you think the
I don't
world
know.
perceives? That's like, that's you're like, no.
Maybe that I'm calm and level-headed all the time and like feel like I have it all figured out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm calm. I'm like, that's true, but like I'm stressed out more than people think I am, I bet, at times.
Even me.
What do you mean, yeah?
Like,
Oh, I'm
I'll be,
upset that you think I am?
no, yeah, sometimes like, you're so good, you have it all together. And he's like, I'm literally a fire inside my brain. You know, I'm like, sorry.
I'm a pretty chronic overthinker. I'll wake up now at like 5 a.m. with like 12 thoughts on my brain just like spraddling. As soon as I get out of bed, it's like, thinking of this, that, or something, the other. It's like, all right, I wish I could just like.
Yeah.
I also don't know if that's normal with how much I have going on in my life or not, but.
You don't have it together all the time.
Absolutely not. And I don't know if people think that though or not, but some people joke about it, say I'm always so like at peace in my own mind. Sometimes there's a lot of shit going on in there.
For sure.
What's your personal rule for when it's okay to skip leg day, babe?
Personal rule?
For when it's okay to skip leg day?
Like when would I say it's okay to skip leg day?
Yeah.
If you break your legs. What? That's good. That's hardcore.
I'm talking about you. Like the only way you are skipping leg day is if you break your legs.
No, that's not true. I skip leg day a lot. I don't know. Come back to me. I can't think of one. I
More
can't.
likely to skip upper body day, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to skip it when I was really hungover.
What?
If I was really hungover, like in college, I'd put it to the next day. That was valid.
Yeah, leg day is not a hungover.
But if I was hungover 2 days in a row, nah, you gotta go for it.
Ooh, I got one. What's your definition of healthy? This is good.
That's healthy.
Healthy. Give me like pillars. What makes someone healthy? Not just physical.
Not just physical?
No.
Jeez, that's like such a long answered question.
Alright, just name off a few things.
Talking about mentally, physically, like
Both.
everything?
I think energy makes someone healthy. Because they have energy.
But how do you get the energy?
You live in alignment with who you are, what you want. You say no to things and people that don't align with you or serve you. You do something you truly love. I think that's how you cultivate like some deep energy. How about what else you got?
We were talking about this earlier. I would say radical acceptance and a lack of resistance for things in your life.
Yeah.
Like if you have like cancer and people are like, just like think positively. You don't think positively, like, oh, I'm healthy.
Sorry, hold on, wait, sorry.
She's okay.
Intermission.
She's too hot.
Intermission. Wait, I'm coming back for this answer. Giving her to my mother.
Turned into we have no questions, so this will be a 40-minute video.
This video is evolving well though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Talk to me.
Intermission over.
Intermission over. Go. Alignment. Or what were you saying?
Radical acceptance and a lack of resistance for the way things are. Like, we were talking about this. You're sick. You have cancer. Instead of being like, oh, I think I'm healthy, I'm okay, like I'm healthy, I'm like, instead of putting a fake happy thought in your mind, just be okay with the reality of things. Be like, I have cancer, but I'm okay with it. I've made peace with it. I can still be okay with anything else going on in my life. Being able to have acceptance for just the way things are. And understanding that circumstances aren't good or bad, but just your perception of it is. You have to truly understand that and like feel things, but like get through them.
Yeah, that's really powerful. For sure. Okay, now name some physical things that make someone healthy. In your opinion.
Good range of motion,
Okay.
low blood pressure,
Like it.
good digestion, a healthy gut, with a healthy life,
Yeah, for sure.
clear mind, no brain fog,
Yeah.
low inflammation.
Good answer. Okay, do you have any more? I'll keep going on Country Living. CountryLiving.com has quite a few good ones. Oh, my angel. Okay, all right, guys, I'm out. It was so fun talking to you. Finish strong, Henry, Christopher.
It's also hot as hell. Yeah, Goo's pissed, so we're going inside. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh no, we're done. It's okay.
You were so sad. You didn't want us out there. No, you want to go swimming with Daddy again?
Yes.
You already went swimming today.
Going in the cold tub?
Oh, you're so tired. Your teeth hurt.